Hi everyone, I'm Elise from iThemes, and we're here today with another installment of WordPress Development Corner. I've got Lew here with me today, who is one of our lead devs here at iThemes. Thanks for joining me, Lew.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. So let's go ahead and dive right in, and just can you tell us how you got started in development and WordPress specifically?
Well, that's a long story, but so basically, when I was like 16, I got a computer and I started programming in like BASIC.
Yeah.
A couple of games that came with my Microsoft PC that had BASIC, and you could edit the code and recompile it and run it. And so I did that and was like dabbled with Linux and learned sysadmin stuff. Ended up getting a job working in an ISP where I learned Perl. Moved on to a different state, got a job doing sysadmin, and in that job I learned PHP.
Yeah.
When I quit that job, I went to go work for another company, and my mother-in-law's website had been hacked, and she asked me to clean it up. I cleaned it up, and the way that her site was architected was awful. And so I reached out to one of our coworkers, Glenn, and I was like, hey, you're building websites for some of the professors. What are you using to do that? And he said, WordPress. He said, check it out. It's super easy to learn. I was like, okay, cool. So I looked at WordPress and I built her new website in WordPress.
Yeah.
And that's really how I got started with WordPress.
Oh, very cool.
And that was 12 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any advice for anyone else who's trying to get into development?
The biggest thing I think people need to do to get into development is to find a project that they want to work on. It's really hard for most people to just say they're going to learn a language, but they don't have any goals
Right.
to pursue. Like when I learned Perl, I picked up the O'Reilly's Learning Perl book, and I just went through every chapter and did like all the questions at the end until I was satisfied. But with PHP, it was I had to solve a problem.
Yeah.
And at the time, PHP was probably the easiest to do that in. I could have used Python, I suppose, but I did PHP. I don't even know what the project was, but then WordPress was. I needed to make a website for my mother-in-law, and WordPress is on PHP.
Yeah.
And then every project since then has been, I need to do a thing, and this thing, it may be like a new thing I'm learning how to do, but it's a goal, and just trying to reach that goal, looking online, getting advice from people who know more than me.
Yeah.
That's really the best way to learn, in my opinion. It's really hard to do it in a classroom setting.
Sure.
But I think a lot of professors these days are learning that, and they actually give their students projects versus just telling them, how the language works and
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah. So you're one of our main Sync devs. So how do you think developers can use tools like Sync to help them?
The biggest thing I think that is a benefit to developers when it comes to Sync is that it helps you get out of the way of WordPress.
Sure.
So a developer, typically speaking, wants to be developing things.
Right.
And if a developer has clients, let's say you have 50 clients, and you've built their WordPress websites out, and at that point, all it is maintenance work for you, updating their plugins, updating their themes. Right. It's a real pain to log into every single one of those sites and click the button. Even if you're using like the WP CLI, you're still logging into the server and you're running the commands manually. With Sync, you log in, you click one button, and you can update all the sites.
Yeah.
Which really just it steps you away from that process. It allows you a lot more time to actually be developing new code, developing new plugins or themes, or whatever you're doing for your other clients.
Yeah.
So it's a huge time saver. And then of course there's the benefits that Sync has apart from that, which is you can then send scheduled reports. So your customers can see that these plugins and themes are getting updated, and other things like the WordPress SEO analytic data,
right?
Google analytic data, all that stuff. So your clients then see that you're doing all this work, even though in reality it's taking you like 5-10 minutes a month to do.
Sure. So are there any features in Sync that you think are underutilized?
I don't know if there are any that are really underutilized. In reality, it depends on if you're a pro user or a standard user, I guess. If you're a standard user, really upgrading to pro would benefit you because you get access to the reports, you get access to uptime,
right?
Which is really great. Like if your site goes down and you don't know about it, or your client site goes down and you don't know about it, and they email you and say, hey, why is my site down? Then you're scrambling versus you being more proactive.
Right.
I think there are probably some features of Sync that aren't utilized much, but they're probably pretty niche, and most people aren't needing to utilize them.
Sure.
Like the Twitter integration, like we have that thing, you can publish to Twitter from the Sync dashboard.
Yeah.
There's not very many people that needs that sort of functionality. So I don't know if it's really underutilized though.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of those features that we could hide.
Well, do you have any hints for us for what's coming next in Sync?
I'm working on some more integrations for the newer features that are available in iTheme security. That's the big thing that's on my plate right now.
Sure.
So I don't know how many of those features will get implemented in this next push, but there's a bunch that iTheme security has been adding, and we want to get some sort of feature parity with Sync and that. And that's one thing Sync does. It has integration with our other main products, which is iTheme security and iTheme's Backup Buddy. So we want to get some feature parity between those plugins because the developers over there have been pushing out some good updates.
Right. All right. Well, thanks for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time.